Once upon a time, on a quiet farm, a mother duck sat on her eggs. She was waiting for her babies to hatch. One by one, the eggs cracked open and little ducklings came out. They were all yellow and fluffy, just like their mother. But one egg was bigger than the others, and it didn't hatch yet. The mother duck waited patiently until finally, the last egg cracked open. Out came a duckling, but it looked different. It was bigger and gray, not yellow like the others. The mother duck was surprised, but loved all her babies. She took them to the pond to swim. The other ducklings swam happily, but the gray duckling was slower and clumsier. The other animals on the farm noticed the gray duckling and started to laugh. They said, "Look at that ugly duckling. It doesn't look like the others." The gray duckling felt sad and didn't understand why everyone was being mean to him. The ugly duckling tried to play with his brothers and sisters, but they didn't want him around. They said, "You're too big and ugly, go away." Even the chickens and geese on the farm made fun of him. The ugly duckling felt lonely and didn't know what to do. He decided to leave the farm and find a place where he could be happy. He walked for a long time until he found a big lake. At the lake, the ugly duckling saw a group of beautiful swans. They were white and graceful, swimming in the water. The ugly duckling thought, "I wish I could be as beautiful as them," but he was too scared to talk to them. He stayed near the lake and watched the swans from a distance. He felt even lonelier because he didn't belong anywhere. One day, a kind old woman saw the ugly duckling and took him to her home. She thought he was a lost duck and wanted to help him. But the old woman's cat and chicken didn't like the ugly duckling. They said, "You're useless, you can't lay eggs or catch mice like us." The ugly duckling felt sad again and decided to leave the old woman's house. The ugly duckling walked through the forest, feeling cold and hungry. He found a small pond and stayed there for a while. He met some wild ducks, but they also made fun of him. They said, "You're too ugly to be with us." The ugly duckling didn't know where to go. He just wanted to find a place where he could be accepted. Winter came, and the weather became very cold. The ugly duckling struggled to find food and shelter. One day, he saw a farmer and followed him to his house. The farmer's children tried to play with the ugly duckling, but they were too rough. He got scared and ran away. He spent the winter alone, hiding in the reeds by the lake. When spring came, the weather became warm again. The ugly duckling grew bigger and stronger. One day, he saw the beautiful swans again. They were swimming in the lake, and he wanted to join them. But he thought, "They will laugh at me because I'm ugly." Still, he decided to swim toward them. He was tired of being alone. As the ugly duckling swam closer to the swans, he saw his reflection in the water. He was surprised. He wasn't an ugly duckling anymore. He had grown into a beautiful white swan. The other swans welcomed him and said, "You're one of us." The ugly duckling couldn't believe it. He was finally happy and felt like he belonged. The swans taught the new swan how to fly and swim gracefully. He learned quickly and enjoyed his new life. And one day, he flew over the farm where he was born. He saw his brothers and sisters, but they didn't recognize him. "Ed," they said, "look at that beautiful swan, he's so graceful." The swan smiled, but didn't say anything. He was happy to be where he was now. The swan remembered how sad and lonely he felt as an ugly duckling. He realized that everyone is different, and that it's okay to be unique. He also learned that true beauty comes from inside. He was grateful for his journey because it made him stronger and wiser. He decided to stay with the swans and live a happy life. The story of the ugly duckling teaches us an important lesson. Sometimes we feel different or left out, but that doesn't mean we're not special. Everyone has their own journey, and we should be patient. One day, we will find our place in the world. We should also be kind to others, even if they look or act differently. Another lesson from the story is that we shouldn't judge others by their appearance. The ugly duckling was judged because he looked different, but he turned out to be a beautiful swan. This teaches us to look beyond what we see and appreciate people for who they are. Everyone has something special to offer. The ugly duckling's journey also shows us the importance of perseverance. Even when things were hard, he didn't give up. He kept going until he found happiness. This teaches us to stay strong and keep trying, even when life is difficult. Good things come to those who wait. The story also reminds us to be kind to ourselves. The ugly duckling felt bad because others were mean to him, but he learned to love himself. We should all remember that we are special and deserve love and respect. We should treat ourselves with kindness, just like we treat others. In the end, the ugly duckling found his true family with the swans. This shows us that family isn't always about blood. Sometimes we find our family in unexpected places. What matters is that we feel loved and accepted. The swan was happy because he finally found where he belonged. The story of the ugly duckling is a reminder that everyone has their own time to shine. The ugly duckling didn't look like the others at first, but he grew into something beautiful. This teaches us to be patient and trust the process. We will all find our place in the world when the time is right. Another important lesson is to never give up on your dreams. The ugly duckling dreamed of being accepted and loved, and he didn't stop until he found it. This teaches us to keep believing in ourselves even when things seem impossible. Dreams can come true if we work hard and stay positive. The ugly duckling's story also teaches us about self-discovery. He didn't know who he was at first, but his journey helped him find his true self. This reminds us that life is a journey of learning and growing. We should embrace our differences and be proud of who we are. In conclusion, the story of the ugly duckling is a beautiful tale of hope, perseverance, and self-love. It teaches us to be kind, patient, and accepting of ourselves and others. Everyone has their own journey, and we should respect that. The ugly duckling became a beautiful swan, and we can all find our own beauty if we believe in ourselves.